Did you know that a huge asteroid is heading towards Earth? Do you know what consequences our planet could face if a collision happens? Watch the video until the end, and you'll find out how scientists managed to spot the asteroid and how likely a collision really is. Are you ready? Then let's go. 19. On June 19, 2004, astronomers at the Kitt Peak Observatory in Arizona, USA, discovered a new asteroid. It was given the temporary designation 2000 MN4. Over the next 2 nights, scientists made 6 observations of the object, but soon lost sight of it. 7 months later, in December, the same asteroid was spotted again, this time in Australia. Other observatories joined the effort to keep the object in sight. Thanks to the collaborative efforts, on December 20th, the Minor Planet Center published data about the asteroid's orbit. Analysis showed that 2004 MN4 belongs to the group of Atens, meaning it crosses Earth's orbit from the inside. The absolute magnitude of the object was measured at 19.7, and its diameter was estimated to be about 400 meters. This is a typical representative of its class of celestial bodies. Using the Sentry system in the US and the Cloman 2 in Italy, experts determined that a potentially dangerous close approach of the asteroid to Earth could happen on April 13, 2029. Starting from April 2029. By December 27, 2004, the probability of a collision was estimated at 3.3%, which is considered a high figure for astronomical observations. However, subsequent studies eased those fears. Scientists from the Kitt Peak Observatory analyzed archived data and found that the asteroid was actually discovered back in March 2004. 6 of its images were found that hadn't caught anyone's attention before. Extending the observation period allowed for more accurate predictions regarding the close approach in 2029, and the likelihood of a collision with Earth turned out to be minimal. After getting positive results for the asteroid, they continued to observe it. In the year of 2005, it was officially given a permanent number, 99942, and known as the asteroid Apophis, after the ancient and powerful Egyptian mythological entity who was said to attempt to destroy the sun each and every single night. Discovered in 2004, Apophis, this cosmic wanderer, instantly caught the world's attention. With each passing day, the anxiety grew. Is the end coming? The probability of a collision with Earth in 2029 will reach a frightening 2.7%. It will reach a frightening 2.7%. People were looking for answers in ancient prophecies, comparing Apophis to the biblical wormwood. But time went on, and new data eased the fears. Scientists clarified the asteroid's trajectory, proving that the disaster has been postponed. Nevertheless, the asteroid remains in the spotlight, like a sinister ghost, ready to remind us of its presence at any moment. His name, Apophis, takes us back to ancient Egypt, where the great serpent Apophis tried to swallow the sun every night. Like this mythical creature, the asteroid carries a destructive power that could change the course of history. The asteroid is shaped like an egg or a peanut. Its size is mind-blowing. About 370 meters in diameter, 450 meters long, and 170 meters wide, 450 meters long, and 170 meters wide, 450 long, 70 meters wide, 450 meters long, and located Chanel-Michelin National Park. If you compare it to the Tunguska meteorite, which caused significant destruction in Siberia, Apophis turns out to be 4 times larger. And then there's the famous Chicxulub asteroid, the culprit behind the dinosaurs' extinction, which was 27 times more massive. Such scales make you think about the threat that Apophis could pose to our planet. Even though modern technology allows us to track such objects and assess their trajectories, there's always room for uncertainty. That's why studying celestial bodies like Apophis is incredibly important for our future. Astronomers David Farnokia from NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory and Dave Fallon from the University of Hawaii's Institute for Astronomy made an important discovery regarding the movement of the asteroid Apophis. Using the Subaru telescope in Hawaii, they conducted a series of observations in early 2020, the results of which they presented at a meeting of the American Astronomical Society. Their report on the titled discovery of the Yarkovsky acceleration of Apophis confirmed that the asteroid is affected by the Yarkovsky effect. This phenomenon, first described by Russian engineer Ivan Yarkovsky in 1900, consists of a change in the orbit of a cosmic body under the influence of solar radiation. The heat flow reflected from the asteroid's surface creates a weak jet thrust that affects its trajectory. The study showed that the Yarkovsky effect has a significant impact on the motion of Apophis, requiring additional observations and analysis to more accurately predict its orbit. When one side of the asteroid is illuminated by the sun, it heats up and then, as it cools, it releases photons that create a small reactive force. This force, like an invisible wind, pushes the asteroid in a certain direction, changing its trajectory. Studying the Yarkovsky effect is no easy task. It requires careful observations and complex mathematical calculations. That's why long-term predictions of Apophis's movement remain complex and uncertain. Nevertheless, astronomers are constantly monitoring this celestial body, trying to predict its future behavior. One of the important stages of the research was the observation of the asteroid on January 9, 2013, when it came within 15 million kilometers of Earth. This data, along with previous observations, allowed NASA scientists to update the information about the size and trajectory of the asteroid. It is now known that the width of Apophis is 370 meters, not 300 as previously thought. 3 dates have also been identified that could be critical for our planet: 2029, 2036, and 2068. Although the probability of a collision with Earth during these periods remains low, they require special attention and further research. On Friday, April 13, 2029, the world will hold its breath in anticipation. In 2029, the world will hold its breath in anticipation. The celestial wanderer known as the asteroid Apophis will make a swift flyby past Earth, leaving everyone on edge. Although scientists assure us that there's no immediate threat, this visit is sure to be unforgettable. Apophis will zip by at just 31,300 kilometers from the surface of our planet. So close that it can be seen without a telescope. This event will go down in history as the closest approach of a large asteroid to Earth. The orbits of communication satellites, located at an altitude of 40,000 kilometers, will seem almost unreachable compared to the path of Apophis. But even that height doesn't guarantee complete safety. There's a small risk that some satellites could be affected by the close encounter with the asteroid. The probability of a collision between Earth and Apophis in 2036 is extremely low, just 1 in 250,000. However, the fate of the encounter in 2068 remains a mystery. The gravitational field of Earth can also alter the asteroid's trajectory, bringing it closer to our planet. Astronomers Tolan and Farnacci are confident that 2029 will be a turning point. Research is providing accurate data on the movement of Apophis. NASA might decide to send an expedition to study the asteroid in detail. These measures will either ease all concerns for the coming decades or start preparations for the worst-case scenario. 9. In January 2013, the asteroid Apophis made another close approach to Earth, coming within 14,460,000 kilometers. This event allowed scientists to refine its parameters. The diameter was about 325 plus or minus 15 meters. It weighs 27 million tons, 11 liters. It weighs 27 million tons. NASA specialists confirmed that there's no threat of a collision in 2029, but we won't be able to avoid the close approach. On April 13, 2029, Apophis will fly by at an altitude of 31,000 kilometers above Earth. At the closest approach, it will be visible to the naked eye. Its brightness will be comparable to the stars of the Little Dipper. After April 13th, it will be possible to predict the asteroid's future trajectory more accurately. As it passes close to Earth, the asteroid will be affected by its gravity, which could change its course. The scale of the changes will be known after the close approach. In addition, this event will help verify the calculations of the asteroid's trajectory shift due to the Yarkovsky-Uokith-Radzievsky effect, which explains the acceleration of rotation in asymmetric bodies under the influence of sunlight. Thanks to the close approach, we'll be able to clarify the shape of the asteroid. There's also the possibility of sending an automatic interplanetary station to Apophis for detailed study and to set up a radio beacon. Such a station would allow for more accurate calculations of the asteroid's trajectory, taking into account the gravitational influences of other celestial bodies. Similar projects are being considered by NASA, Roscosmos, and the European Space Agency, but for now, they remain just proposals. Don Yeomans, head of NASA's Near-Earth Object Program, stated that the likelihood of Earth colliding with Apophis in 2036 is extremely low. 1 in a million chance, even considering possible changes in trajectory after the close approach in 2029. The asteroid Apophis is a potentially dangerous celestial body that could cause significant local damage if it collides with Earth. If such a scenario happens, cities near the impact site would be completely destroyed, and the long-term effects would be felt worldwide. The energy released in such a collision would be equivalent to about 1,200 megatons of TNT, a powerful explosion comparable to several nuclear strikes happening at once. This would lead to the destruction of everything within a radius of several dozen kilometers. In addition, the collision would trigger extensive wildfires over an even larger area of the Earth. If the asteroid falls into the ocean, it could trigger a tsunami hundreds of meters high, sweeping away everything in its path along the coast. The dust and debris lifted into the atmosphere, or water vapor if the impact occurs in water, will cause drastic climate changes. The work analyzes the problem of correcting the orbit of the asteroid Apophis. Vyacheslav Vasilievich Ivashkin and Kirill Alexandrovich Stekno studied the likelihood of Earth colliding with Apophis in 2036. They concluded that such a collision is theoretically possible, and the explosion's power would be around 1,000 megatons in TNT equivalent. For comparison, the most powerful thermonuclear bomb ever tested, the Tsar Bomba, had a yield of about 58 megatons. The consequences of the impact could include destruction over thousands of square kilometers, tsunamis if the asteroid lands in water, and numerous casualties. However, scientists believe that the disaster would be more regional than global in nature. The collision won't lead to an asteroid winter that could threaten the existence of human civilization. So, for now, there's no reason to believe that Apophis poses a deadly threat to humanity. Since the asteroid Apophis was discovered in 2004 and its potential threat was recognized, scientists have been tirelessly working to find effective solutions to prevent a possible collision. Some suggestions seem fantastic, like blowing up the asteroid with a nuclear bomb, as shown in the movie Armageddon. However, such a method could lead to even bigger problems. Instead of one large asteroid, hundreds of smaller fragments could crash into Earth, which would pose a much greater threat. There are also more original approaches. So, the idea is to paint the surface of the asteroid to change its color and, in turn, how sunlight affects its trajectory. The altered light pressure should slightly shift Apophis off its course. However, critics doubt the effectiveness of this method, pointing out the asteroid's complex shape and the impossibility of accurately predicting how its movement will change under the influence of light pressure. So, attempts to repaint the asteroid might turn out to be useless. Other ideas include using lasers or gravitational tractors to deflect the asteroid from its orbit. However, the main challenge is that none of the existing methods guarantee a precise result. That's why scientists prefer to keep observing Apophis, especially since a great opportunity is coming up for that, as the asteroid will come as close to Earth as possible. Russian researchers from the Mathematical Modeling Laboratory for Asteroid Comet Hazard Protection at the Moscow Institute of Electronics and Mathematics proposed installing a radio beacon on Apophis. This beacon will allow for real-time tracking of the asteroid's location, measuring its speed and other parameters, which will enable timely actions based on up-to-date data. While many are worried about the end of the world due to the potential impact of the asteroid Apophis, scientists claim that it doesn't pose a significant threat to life on Earth or a global catastrophe. The size of the asteroid isn't enough to cause mass destruction or a nuclear winter. The fall of Apophis could cause significant damage within 10 kilometers of the impact site, while partial damage to buildings could occur within a 50-kilometer radius, and at a distance of 100 kilometers, there could be cracks in walls and broken windows. If the asteroid falls in a densely populated area, it could lead to a lot of human casualties. The energy of the explosion is estimated at 880 megatons in TNT equivalent, which is more than 15 times the power of the explosion of the most powerful hydrogen bomb, known as the Tsar Bomba, tested in 1961 in Novaya Zemlya. A crater with a diameter of 5 to 6 kilometers will form at the impact site. Since a large part of the Earth's surface is covered by oceans, there's a high chance that Apophis will fall right into one of them. In this case, the consequences could be varied, including powerful tsunamis and coastal destruction. To be completely sure there's no threat of a collision with the asteroid Apophis, in 2036, we need to wait until 2029 and conduct a new analysis based on the latest data. No matter what scientists say, we have to remember that we live on a planet that's just a tiny speck in the vast cosmos and is no different from other celestial bodies. Let's hope that the astrophysicists' predictions come true and the asteroid flies by. Friends, I hope for that too, and I want to make you an interesting offer. You have a unique opportunity to become part of our team. If you have video editing skills, can voice over videos in Russian, English, and other languages, or if you write interesting scripts, we would be happy to work with you. Message our Telegram bot. The link is in the description. And that's all for today. Wishing everyone good luck and cosmic balance.